Now let me go. Come back here, please. Something GST rates were changed yesterday. You know, some GST meeting happened. GST council meets. Something happened. Anyone knows what changes were made briefly? Let me not go into that. One of the shares which I want to show, Delta Corp. This was in limelight, and I'll read this. The GST Council to impose 28% tax on online gaming companies. And the moment this news came, let me show you the impact today. Which share we are talking about? Delta Corp. Very good, sir. Very good. Let's look at the fall. This chart might not be very interesting to you if you look at this, but this chart would be interesting to see. Now let me see. Look at this portion here. Look at this portion here, please. Where is my pen gone? Can you see this fall here? This fall. This is today's fall. Yesterday price was around 248 point something, and today it went down to 175 something. And this part. Now, why this has happened? Gaming companies, and they were earlier having some GST. It was increased. The moment this news came, market took it very negatively, which everyone knows, sir. What is the new in this? Even if some student is not reading, everyone would be knowing. The impact I'll show you. Nazara is also one of the companies which is there, gaming company. This is Delta Corp. You know what is Delta Corp, by the way? In your life, nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. Delta Corp is, if you Google search out Delta Corp. Goa, you seen Goa? In Goa, you go in sea somewhere. There will be ships. In the ship, there will be something casino. As per the law of India, I think casinos are not allowed on the land, but on the water it is allowed. Delta Corp is one of them. So you imagine what is that? Not for us. Articles, not for us. Now let me read something and then I'll come back. If I tell you Nazara Corp also went down heavily, 14-15% down, and it moved up quickly. It was close to 2% down. Whereas this share had a more impact. First, let me read what was the impact. First thing to remember from this part is that any kind of a change in the taxation policies impacts the companies a lot. It impacts a lot, and this has impacted it a lot psychologically. Tomorrow what happens I don't know, which I'll tell you because my view, I'll tell you what I think about these kind of companies. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell, please. It's only to understand fundamentally. I was telling you in the previous session, one of the charts, for example, I was telling you in previous session, look at the chart. Look at this chart at least, please. Now every time it has fallen, it has taken from here, for example, it fell, it came down where? This 170 level. Now this becomes what? Support line. Means if it falls below this 170, you do not know where it will go. That means you see every time it comes nearby this, then goes up, then comes nearby, then goes up, then comes nearby this, then goes down, then went up, and somehow change in that policy, the price fell again, and with the huge red bar. Can you see that? It was a very heavy red bar which comes out. Now let us see what the impact came. Nazara was also one of the companies. I'm just reading a small lines. The 28% GST rate imposed on the full value of online gaming stole the limelight, blah 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 blah. Experts believe 28% tax is setback for Indian players. Interestingly, Rekha Jhunjhunwala backed Nazara Technologies. Rekha Jhunjhunwala is wife of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. She is investor in the technology. Share price fall is limited. On the other, Delta Corp stock is bleeding. Nearly 30% drop came in one day. You cannot imagine. It's a part of FNO segment. It's futures and option. That means in this kind of a segment, when we'll do some options and futures, a 1 rupee value of option can become a 30 rupees, 50 rupees value also single day, or 20 rupees, 1 rupee can become 20, that 20 times. Share price will not become 20 times, or will undergo. Option values, we'll learn something when we go in the FNO. This stock was, Delta Corp was in a ban period. Ban is practically what we have something called MWPL limits. If that crosses certain point, 95%, no new contracts can be added, which anyhow when we go practically we learn. Just imagine that whatever happened today in futures and option, those who had their position, some people were buyers, some were sellers, Not today, but earlier. They have not squared off their contract earlier, only they had the option to square it off. Those who shorted means those bearish, they could have booked profit today, and those who were long, they could have booked their losses today. But if I wanted to do anything in F&O activity today, I was not allowed because of that ban period. If it was not in ban today, you could have seen a very interesting movement. Maybe you could have seen 30-40% down, then 20% up, maybe 50% down, and then 40% up. No one knows what would have happened, because F&O players are unimaginable, and lot size I think of this share could be around 2800 shares or something. That means in one go you have to buy or sell 2800 shares. But today, since it was in a ban period, I think it was in a ban, so no new contracts could have come into existence. Interestingly, ban comes because a certain limit increases, due to which new contracts are not allowed. Leave that for the F&O part. Now, second part, what I was saying was, it has not come out of the ban today also. It means tomorrow if you want to do any F&O activity, new players cannot do. So the impact was 30%. It fell from the whatever closed yesterday, I think came down to 175. So almost 30% it came down. At the time of writing this, he says the Nazara Technologies share, tech share, went down by approximately 14.2% and then recovered back. Now what it says, there was a clarification from the Nazara management, I think, but that was not the case with Delta Corp. The Mumbai based company erased around 200 mark and was trading at 191, and low was 175.65. that was approximately how much percentage down? 30 in a single day. Then it says on Tuesday what happened, they are saying that GST committee and etc. they levied 28% tax. Things for you to understand, the change in the taxation impacts this. Even this kind of a thing you will find when the budget comes in. In the budget session also, the moment madam says cigarettes will levy the tax, ITC share, but it recovers the same day. The reason is whether they increase the rate or do not increase. Those who love smoking, they'll smoke. Means those who love drinking, they'll drink. I do not do anything, both of them. But those who are habitual, how does it make a difference to the rates? You increase, they'll do. Now same thing feeling comes. How many times you've gone to casino? In my life I have not seen. They will not even give the entry to me. You have seen articles, leave apart our life. Now think logically. Those who have a habit of playing, if tax increases, will it stop them to go there? Maybe no. Today's impact, I'm not saying please go and tomorrow buy it. You never know, it's a falling knife. The F&O players can take it. Those who are holding the position, the bearish, they can take it to 150 in the same day, and same day it can move up. Adani Enterprises, it happened. 3,500 rupees share, in 2-3 days time it came down to 1,000 rupees. You cannot imagine a single person, single lot, you have lakhs of rupees of a loss which comes out. Now this is the kind of a play which we do not know what will happen. It might so happen that from here some big players will come and they will start buying, because those who love playing or those who love going to these places, they anyhow will go and play. So impact today was more. Maybe tomorrow you might say 10-20%, and the weak hearts, those who are holding this share, they will exit as if the company is over. I have seen, especially in the companies like ITC, for example, cigarette, the cess or the duty changes, that impact comes and same day it recovers back. But it did not happen with this because it was in a ban period. New players were not allowed to take any kind of entry in the F&O. The actual movement comes in the F&O segment only, futures and option. This was one impact, that with the change in the rates, the impact comes. Now second part which comes here is, we have a time, yes we have. The second impact comes is, Nazara Technology did not have major reason. I'll show you why and what happens. Look at this line. Management commentary is very important. You have to check management commentary, because future, what change, what price, and how management is talking, their positiveness impacts the share price. You might enter what will impact. No change came today. Any change which will come in the revenue, in the profit, etc., will come after some point of a time. But management confidence reflects that the stability of a share price. Look at this line. In a regulatory filing, Nazara said they have filed with reference to GST Council decision levy of 28% goods and service tax on online gaming. Nazara Technologies Limited would like to clarify that this tax, once implemented, will apply only to skill-based real money gaming segment of our business. The contribution of this segment to our overall consolidated revenue for the financial year was 5.2. That means very limited part. No such. Further said, it will proactively take steps. Now, one thing more. If any rate changes or tax rate changes, then do you think businesses will close down their business? They will remodify the business. They will remodify the business. Who knows tomorrow something else come? Or let's say, who knows tomorrow the government change the regulation, say you are playing in what? Water. You come on what? The moment they say, one day you will see 50% up maybe. You never know. Please, I'm not saying tell the government or go back and buy it and etc. But I'm saying the way India is moving towards tourism, the way India is attracting, because those who love playing, they love playing. For example, we sometime hear the illegal gambling. If the government makes sometime illegal gambling, it is not advised to them. But if you make, no one will be inclined to go for that illegal. In some of the countries, there could be a possibility betting would be allowed. You go to the counter and buy and do something. Similarly, if they say land also you can play, we'll go to different countries. I know some countries are there where they go. Which countries? Which countries? You have not gone, so you do not know. Neither I have gone. But they go and play. So tomorrow, if the law changes or law comes that you can bring it on what land, then certainly there is a possibility price will shoot up. You never know. But what I am telling you is, Nazara said it will proactively take steps to mitigate any potential impact of this segment business and will anticipate minimal impact on overall revenue. That means they'll change something, which anyhow any business has changed. Because if taxation changes, then automatically management has to take some steps. Nazara lastly blah blah said this said, however, Delta Corp has not made any comments regarding this. Now let's suppose tomorrow they come out with some clarification. Then what do you think happens? It will rise up. So what I'm telling you is, the objective of all this exercise is, I know you have exams on the head. I've not taken a lot of time in this batch. Least possible time I would have taken in this batch. The objective of this is the changes in the income tax rates, changes in the GST rates, or any kind of a regulations change impacts businesses. You have to very carefully watch. And for this, we do not have any kind of a valuation model being applied, because you cannot apply a single day what valuation model, how will apply. Nazara would have, because they know internally that how much my segment is changing, how much impact on revenue, how much, and they give the clarification and the price. If I show you, if I go to BSC website, BSC India, and what was the name of the share? Nazara. Now which games they have I don't know, because I'm not habitual player of that. Look at previous close was 70, this 6, and open 605. You can imagine, and closed at what rate? That means if someone would have bought at 605, it moved. You know why it moved up? Because of that statement. Comment Delta Corp. Let me see the Delta Corp also. The comment has not come, and please do not go buy tomorrow. It's not the buying. Although I know it, because those who are habitual drinkers, for example, or those who are habitual smokers, I do not think they will go for the sake of that price has increased. Okay, let me not do it. If you love something, you love something. So this anyhow is not in our reach. This is beyond our reach. You don't know which currency is used here. Currency also we don't know. Look at the previous close here. 246.8. Previous close means yesterday. Today opened at what? 225, and low price was 178. So imagine the percentage fall, and it did not recover much. It was still 23.4% down. Maybe tomorrow again happen. It is more down. FNO is closed for the new players. It might go down, and then suddenly could be a possibility. Let's suppose I'm just saying theoretically, Delta Corp says the impact is only 7%, 8%, or we are mitigating this, or we are changing this, or we are changing this. Then automatically price would what? Take up. So basically what you need to understand is that these kind of a changes impacts, and graphically if you try to look kind of a fall which came today, look at this. This is called a falling knife. This is called a falling knife. In your time period you might see these very rare event. This has happened because of a change in the tax rate. You would find if some companies do a fraud, if some companies can do some other kind of a problem comes in the company management, they can wipe off 50, 60, 70% in a single day. We have the history of them. We have history. FNO segment do not have any restriction. A normal share can fall if there is a 20% limit, 20. If it is in a 5% limit, 5. If it is in a 10% limit, it will fall 10. FNO will fall 10, then will stay there for some time, then there are some formalities met, then another 5. then will some fall another 5, then some fall another 5. That means if they want to make a fall, it can fall by even 90% in a single day. We even might have the history of it. In some other class I'll discuss about those histories. So in this case it fell today, and look at the volume it has happened. Volume it has happened. So I do not know neither the management of Delta Corp, neither anything else, anything which I discussed for educational purpose, so that you know that when you look at the graph, also you are looking that why I showed you this 5-year period was, or this, let's suppose I show you 1-year period. If you look at this part here, it has always come to near to this level only, and from here it gets back. Now if it breaks that level, what we were discussing yesterday in the Merck, in that company, in that company also, that benchmark we're discussing, that it is resisting here. If it goes above, that's fine. So basically we have this kind of a fall which came in, and it was a news based fall. It was news based. Now the clarification requirement is, what is the impact on the revenue, what is the impact on the profitability, and how markets exactly reflect. That reflection would be how exactly management shows that confidence. That confidence would be very, very, very important piece. And if the management is confident that no matter what happens, our business is robust, our this is robust, and so on, it goes. And by chance, if I'm saying by chance, if the government, which anyhow I don't think election next year they'll do any kind of this thing, because the gambling is assumed as a bad, or casinos are assumed as a bad in the culture, they'll not do anything. But by chance if that law changes and they allow, I hope I'm right, that law is they can play only on what? That's water, ships, land is not allowed. By chance if that is that regulation comes, or that change comes in, then you cannot imagine where they go and stop. So just go back home, read that out. I have discussed only 2 items with you which has fallen. There were some companies or some sectors on which there was reduction also on the duties. There was reduction. If time will not permit, I know. If by chance permits, then go and check that out. Today's news has impacted the entire sector, and in entire sector also some companies were impacted more and some companies were impacted less. Is that fine? That was basically, I should have said, it was today's accident, and which is a very rare circumstance we find. Is that fine? It was general news, nothing else. It was only for the purpose of educational purpose. Thank you and take care. Bye bye. See you where? Tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.